DarioHealth is a US and Israel-based company which helps patients manage chronic health conditions through its extensive digital therapeutics platforms that focus on things like metabolic and musculoskeletal issues. To talk about it in more detail, I'm going to hand it over to the CEO of DarioHealth, Erez Raphael. Erez, thank you so much for joining us. Now, tell our viewers about DarioHealth in a little bit more detail, how it got started in Israel, but now it's US focused.
Yes, absolutely. So thanks for having me here. So the technology was originally developed in Israel, but the idea from the first place was to go into the US market and to sell it into the health plans and the employers in the US market. We started by developing a platform for diabetes management. We expanded it into hypertension, and with recent acquisition, we expanded into the musculoskeletal space.
And we've seen confidence and growth in digital health as a result of the pandemic. How has this impacted DarioHealth?
Yes, so the movement from non-digital into digital solutions is something that started like years ago. We are working on building this platform for the last 8 years. So for us, it was clearly that the market is going to go into more digital. I can say that the pandemic accelerated a trend that we already have seen and made it move forward much faster. And today it seems like things are moving ahead into full digitalization of the healthcare market that will help scale up the treatment. I just want to remind the audience that the chronic condition spend in the United States is more than 80% of the total healthcare spend. And in order to scale up treatment, you need to get the involvement of the patient with their own chronic conditions. You need to have better tools, more personalized tools, and that's the only way to scale up treatment.
And Erez, tell me about the company's latest acquisition, because I know something happened there recently, and where you plan to go next with it.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that we keep telling investors every earnings call is that we believe that digital health is around personalization. And personalization means that we need to surround the users with every chronic treatment that can help them. So we started with diabetes, we expanded into hypertension, and 2 months ago we acquired a company called Upright Technologies that is dealing with the MSK space, physical therapy. We are integrating them now into the platform, and we're going to have one integrated platform. We also believe that moving forward, we're going to expand into additional conditions, and we want to be one of the most comprehensive integrated solution for chronic condition management in the world.
Right, and I understand that you're heading more towards a business-to-business approach with your company. How have investors and the markets responded to that?
We chose first to go direct to consumer. And fast forward, after a few years that we are doing direct to consumer, we developed one of the best solutions in the market. If you're going to go into the App Store in the States, you see that we have more than 16,000 reviews with 4.9 stars and very good user experience. And we think that this is a result of a go-to-market strategy that was direct to consumer first. Now, when we want to scale up the treatment into millions of users, and we want to go and be a hyper-growth company, we believe that the only way to do that is to go directly into the payers, health plans, and employers in the States. And actually, we started that by the beginning of 2020. We got a very good results, and also the valuation of the company on the NASDAQ was adjusted accordingly. So we want to be a hyper-growth company that will be able to penetrate the market in a much more scalable way. B2B is the way, and I think that investors understand that.
And Erez, just very, very briefly, before I let you go, the company is Israel and US based, but who can actually access this platform?
Yeah, so at the moment, 95% of our users are in the US. So practically the R&D center is in Israel, but we are not doing active sales in Israel. We are selling only in the US. We have a small presence also in Canada, in the UK, and also in Australia, but 95% is targeted for the US. That's the big market, and this is where we are focused our funds on.
Okay, wonderful. Erez Raphael, the CEO of DarioHealth, thank you so much for joining us and coming on the show.
Thank you so much for hosting me here.
No problems.